Welcome to LUTV News in Focus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and in the world of culture. I'm Jade Moreau. If anything good could come from a hurricane, it would be the outpouring of love and unity that comes from within a community. Southeast Texas is no stranger when it comes to these devastating storms, yet time and time again, this area bounces back and shows the true definition of what it means to be resilient. I spoke with Biguita Hernandez-Smith, founder of Love Thy Neighbor, a natural disaster relief program, about how the group is continuing to help spread love within the community. So, what exactly is Love Thy Neighbor? Tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. So Love Thy Neighbor is an initiative that started after Hurricane Laura. So as you know, we all braced ourselves in Beaumont. I live in Beaumont, really waiting for Hurricane Laura to hit. I evacuated, and then the next morning, we realized that Beaumont was not hit. And so God, it was definitely a spiritual experience where God spoke to me and he said, okay, so you have to be able to place Beaumont at the forefront of no longer being the victim, because this is a time where we were not the victim. We actually were blessed to come out of it almost harm-free. And so you need to be able to put your foot forward, lead a team to love on your neighbor. And those neighbors, when we came back, were Orange, Texas, and Lake Charles. And so that's how the initiative began. So the whole sentiment, the real deep root of it is that we are going beyond ourselves, right? We recognize that we are now in a place of strength. We can place effort into being able to help our neighbors, and we should do that. And so I gathered a team of influential community leaders in the area and said, hey, this is my idea. Are you guys interested in helping? And we all got together, we agreed. Within about 3 days, we were able to turn around a supply drive. So we partnered with the local NAACP here in Beaumont, and we started to organize a supply drive at their headquarters. And so many people came out. As we all know, social media is very powerful. And the whole message of Love Thy Neighbor just really resonated with so many people. And we put it out on social media. We got a great turnout in terms of people donating supplies, donating money, gift cards. And we went out to Orange and we told them that we were coming. So we all got on different social media outlets and we said, hey, Orange, you are our neighbor. We recognize that you guys are in need and we're coming to love on you. And we went to Orange, Texas, and it was a turnout that we could not ever imagine. And we were able to give about 250 cars supplies with regards to food, snacks, non-perishable food items, cleaning items, and that's what we did. But it was just such a great turnout because we didn't expect it. So we thought there were so many different organizations giving, right? And it was like right in the time that we needed to do it, a couple of days after Hurricane Laura hit. And when we got there, we literally could not maneuver in the streets. Like we had to get people and police officers to help escort us to the place where we were gonna set up because so many people came out. And I truly believe that they came out because not only did they need things, but they craved the love.
So we see a lot of hurricanes in this area, and Louisiana especially. Was the idea of Love Thy Neighbor, was it something that's been in the process, an idea that's been in the process, or was it just a quick decision that we got spared and you just thought of it?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I didn't think of it. I am a believer, I'm a faithful woman. I asked God to guide me through every step, professional, personal. And so this was him truly speaking to me to say, hey, you need to get up and you need to organize and you need to do this as soon as possible. And so yes, it was very quick. It was nothing in the making, no plan, but literally the day that I returned back to Beaumont, this is when this started.
And to my understanding, you are continuing to grow the organization. What has been your next step?
Yes, so we have recognized that Love Thy Neighbor has different arms. And the whole idea, like I said, it's rooted in loving on the person next to you, right? So we decided to grow this sentiment. And so we have a project called Relief Times 2. where we're in a pandemic. Obviously, COVID-19 has impacted our economy tremendously. And so we said, why not find sponsors to go out and support food establishments, restaurants who are no longer having the business that they used to have, sponsor them in meals and bring those meals to teams that are uplifting communities because of the impact of Laura. So Relief Times 2, we're relieving a small business, a small restaurant, if you will, in Beaumont, Texas, and we're bringing that relief to a team that, you know, needs meals, needs help as they try to build up our communities again.
And as you continue to grow, what is your ultimate goal for the organization?
The ultimate goal is to, and this is a little sneak peek into the third arm, is to really be able to get people to understand how powerful love is amongst your neighbor. That the reason why our world may be it has a lack of unity is because people are afraid of different. People are afraid of change. People are afraid of the unknown. And so as a result of that, we put a wall up, right? So if you can play that idea out with regards to a different city, they're different from us. They do things different. How about we talk about those differences? How about we recognize them and gain perspective on differences? So the ultimate goal is really to be able to unify our communities of the Golden Triangle, unify our communities of Southeast Texas, to no longer be in that position to be afraid of what they don't know, but actually be able to welcome it and embrace it and truly be able to love thy neighbor.
And Love Thy Neighbor is a really neat name for the organization. I think it's very fitting. How did you come up with that name? Is there some kind of meaning behind it?
Love thy neighbor is in the Bible, and I don't recall the exact verse. However, the idea is that to love thy neighbor as you would love thyself, to love thy neighbor more than thyself. So again, we're coming back to like biblical meaning, spiritual meaning, what this world was intended to be, right? To be able to get along with each other. We're all different. We're all unique in phenomenal ways, and truly be able to love that instead of being afraid of it.
How can people get involved with Love Thy Neighbor?
Sure. So we have a Love Thy Neighbor page. It's called Love Thy Neighbor BMT, standing for Beaumont, Boy, Mary, Tom. Love Thy Neighbor BMT. You can go on that page and you can message us, and there's an actual email attached, or you can personally message myself. My name is Biguita Hernandez-Smith. My first name is spelled Biguita, last name Hernandez-Smith. And there's just a lot of people contacting me in both of those ways. And so what we'll do is a couple of days before, preferably about 5 days before we do an event, we'll announce it on social media. We'll ask for volunteers. Any person who wants to be a volunteer gets this wonderful shirt that causes a lot of attention in the community, and a lot of positive attention. And they can come out and volunteer with us. And we've gotten a lot of people very interested.
Is there anything else you'd like to add or you have to say about Love Thy Neighbor?
All I will say is that I sense that Love Thy Neighbor will be one of the biggest movements in our community. And I think what I really like is that I'd like to see a difference in people who come out and volunteer with us. Difference, age, gender, religions, ethnicity, nationality, color. Like, we just really need to come together. Obviously, our world, our country is hurting really bad. And I just think that I'm going to claim it, that this is going to be one of the biggest movements to get us together. And I believe that it will have national coverage.
I would like to thank Biguita for joining us. Thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.